All right, guys. I know I'm waiting for the thing to come on. All right. Did you cut off the other video? Did you cut off the messenger video call? We can't see you. Were you able to cut off the other video? All right, guys. I'm back with Micah. I think she's here. I can't see her video. So if I can't see it, I know you can't see it. Messaging her right now to see if she knows she can. Um, Click the link again. Alright, guys. Try this again.
Watching myself in real time. That's not helpful. How do you join what? I'm not taking random people I haven't vetted onto my live. I have to vet people before because too many people do ungainly things on video that will lose me on my account. So yeah, I'm not accepting random people. Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Yep, I can see you now. So yeah,
I
someone else
can't
was
hear
just
you.
I asking. Can't hear you. Are you watching yourself while you're on this? Because if so, that's
Hang
probably
on, let
creating
me
fear.
refresh my, I mean, let
Hang
me
on, let
restart
me
my phone.
refresh my. I mean,
One moment.
one moment. What about now? Uh, she's still frozen, guys. Hopefully this will work. Dealing with video recording is very touch and go. It is an art form, not a science. hopefully she'll be back. Um, Guys, if you're in a chat room, just say hello. Don't use that YouTube prompt. I just find it kind of creepy. It looks like a bot. I can't tell when people hit that said hi thing. I can't tell if it's real or not. Hey, Melanie. So trying to get my guests back on. All right, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
No,
I
I
don't
can't
know.
hear you. I don't. That is your system, I think. I'm fine on this end. You're gonna have to do something. You might have to put in earbuds or something. And take off that green screen. That might be interfere. I don't know if that's interfering with your.
I can hear you,
I
but
can
it's
hear you,
just a
but it's
little.
just a little. All right, maybe you
How do
can
you call
back
that?
away from the phone a little bit. Your headphones are kind of small. There you go. That's
How
a
about that?
little better. How about that? Little, a little
Sorry.
bit back. Sorry. Little bit more. Your face is like way in the screen like this.
I don't know what's wrong
I don't
going
know
on.
what's going on. No, I mean just back your phone away like this.
There.
There. Okay. All right. So, um, I have, you know, there's people coming in and out of the chat room, so it keeps jumping. So I don't know how many people's actively in the chat room in real time because it keeps jumping. But for the people who just came here, this is my friend Micah. She's been on the channel a few times. And she's talked about some of her struggles in the Philippines. So over the past 3 weeks, I've been trying to raise money to give her a little helping hand. Um, we're still looking for donations if anyone wants to do so, and you can do so either through my Cash App or
Yeah.
here if you want to send a super chat or a super sticker. Um, we were looking to get enough to clear my payout amount through YouTube, which I think I've reached, but I have to wait another day to see if it's cleared. But in the meantime, we're still taking donations to help her. And Avid, if you want to keep telling your story, you can, because it's not the same people right currently in the chat room that's been in here the last two times when you appeared. But like I was saying, if you want to talk or tell them what's going on with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my daughter.
that's my daughter. Yeah, I was saying tell them your story. Like most of the people in the chat room don't know anything about you because these are new people in the chat room. My moderators aren't here yet, though. The moderators are the only one who already know your story. Like the people in the chat room currently don't. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you
I
well.
can't hear you well. I don't think she can hear me, guys. Um, is your volume all the way up?
Hmm?
Hmm? Is your volume all the way up?
Value?
Value?
Volume?
Volume, your sound. Is the sound all
Yeah,
the way up?
it's
Yeah,
up.
it's up. Okay. You might. Okay. Since you're on video, you probably can't check your sound diagnostics, but do you have earbuds? That would help.
Saglit lang.
Saglit lang nga. Wait, let
Let
me.
me.
is her daughter. That's your, was that your daughter? Was that your daughter? So that is her daughter who's currently, going through medical treatment, guys. So this was actually the reason why, we were trying to raise a little bit of money to help her. It was to help her um, start her job, but then she's had some medical surprises with her daughter. Um, so that's when, I tried to double down and help her, but it's been difficult with communication there with her. So this is only the third time she's been on the channel, although we've been doing this for like 3 or 4 weeks now, I think. So um, what's going to happen is that, you know, the money I received from you guys in the past, including some of my moderators, will go to her, as well as some money that was sent to me on Cash App as well. Thanks to the people who did that. Um, but hopefully it'll help her out and her daughter, who looks like she's having some troubles right now. Um, I think it's still on the screen too, for you that you guys can see.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I was just talking to the chat room, but I was saying, why don't you tell them your story? Because these aren't everyone I've seen who's come into the chat room hasn't been here before. I don't believe. So if you tell them your story,
Were you able?
the I'll tell you guys one thing: internet is not great in the Philippines. If you want to go to a Southeast Asian country that has great internet, um, Thailand has great internet infrastructure, and Singapore, of course, does as well. But Philippines, no, not really. They still have a ways to go in developing their internet infrastructure. So it can be a bit frustrating, being you know being in a video conference or video chat with someone from there, unless they are using like a good internet connection. There's not a lot of high
Dili
speed.
ba sa
Dili
cellphone
ba
ni
sa
ko on?
cellphone ni ko on?
Oy, hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Did you get the messages I was saying? You maybe can talk and tell them your story
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I sent you.
I really
I
can't
really
hear you,
can't
but
hear
I
you, but
am
I am
hoping that
hoping that
everyone can hear
everyone
me.
can hear me.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
daughter
my
is
daughter is
hypoglycemic
hypoglycemic
and she
and she
is having
is having
seizure right
seizure
now,
right now.
and she really
And she
needs your
really
help
needs
because
your help
she's on
because she's on
coma right now.
coma right now.
And
And
we need
we need
the medicine
the
for her
medicine for
to
her
wake up
to wake up
and for her not
and
to
for
be
her
brain
not to
dead.
be brain dead.
And the
And the
medication needs to
medication
be
needs to be
like
like
consistent, but
consistent,
I
but
cannot
I
afford
cannot afford
it. So I'm
it. So
hoping
I'm
you guys
hoping
could do
you
me
guys could do me.
a little.
No, well, I mean, can you give them like more background about you Hopefully she got. So I told her guys to kind of like to give more of a background about herself, not just like her current medical situation, so you guys can know more about her. Okay, because I know most of you that I see keep the ones I see appearing in the game and excuse me in the chat room and maybe appear out of the chat room. Like I know you guys are completely clueless who she is, what we're doing, why she was reaching out for help, but she has. I'm trying to let her know, like, most of you guys coming in the chat room don't know us, so she gotta kind of tell her history. So it's kind of touch and go. Her video's currently frozen. I'm hoping that's because she switched from that to her messenger, where she can see my messages I'm trying to give to her since she can't. Something's wrong with her audio, so we're on video in real time, but for whatever reason, she can't hear me out of her on her end. So anyway, I'm not gonna let there be a bunch of dead air. So I'm gonna fill in some background for her, and then she can do the rest if if and when she comes back. So the lady you see on the screen, where even though it's currently frozen, her name is Micah. Okay, she is from the Philippines. She lives in a region of the Philippines called Mindanao. It's the southernmost region of the Philippines. Um, but she lives in a place not too far from the central part of the Philippines called the Visayas. She used to live in Cebu City, which is like a major metropolitan area in the Philippines. You have like three major metropolitan areas in the Philippines. You have Metro Manila, which is made up comprised of about 17 cities. You have Metro Cebu, which is I think made up about six cities or so. And you have Metro Davao, which is in Mindanao. She's not near that part though. In Metro Davao, I think it's about four or five cities. Um, and so originally lived in Cebu City 3 years ago, but she lost her home to a super typhoon, to which, out of you know, I guess out of desperation, she moved to where she currently is in Mindanao, where she lives in a shared space with some other people with their families. Um, she was when I when we touched base recently earlier this year. She told me how she was struggling, why I hadn't talked to her in 3 years, because 3 years ago, originally I had hired her to develop a website for me, which never got off the ground. And I found out it was because of the situation she found herself in with the super typhoon and losing everything, her home and everything that was in it, pretty much. So it's like starting over from scratch. Um, since then, like I say, she's relocated. She's been doing, I guess, odd jobs to, you know, take care of her and her daughter. And she was looking for work, but over there you have to like pay. Like when you want to work, you actually have to pay for your application fees and your background checks and all this sort of stuff. Like it's not here like here when you go through a hiring process when you apply to a job and all that stuff is covered. Like they do the background check, they do the credit check, they do all those things, right? And then they determine whether they want you or not. There, they make you pay for the privilege of applying to these places, which is just asinine, but whatever. Especially when they pay you much less than they do here for the same jobs. Um, so that's originally why I was gonna, trying to help her out, and then, you know, of course, as you just heard her saying about 5 minutes ago, tragedy struck. So her daughter is in a critical medical condition currently, and I guess she needs funds to access the sort of treatment and medication that her child needs to, to overcome this medical situation. Uh, so that's where we currently are. Then we kind of lost touch for like a week or two because she needed another prepaid phone load to stay in communication because she, like many Filipinos there, don't have um, you know phone plans. They instead use prepaid phone services, um, and then once they've used it, then they just have to buy a new load. Which, for most people, we realize that when you use prepaid phone services, you're actually paying more in the in the long term than if you had a phone, if you had like a you know actual phone plan. Uh, but for them, a lot everything is sort of like short term, unfortunately. So it's like, what can I do now, as far as money, food, data for my phone, stuff like that, instead of looking at it through a long term lens, which is get a phone plan postpaid instead of prepaid, and that'll save you money. But also, it's because a lot of people can't afford to install those postpaid phone plans, unfortunately. So, like I said, a lot of people there rely on prepaid data, and so that's why we lost touch for like almost 2 weeks, a week and a half, something like that. But in the meantime, I have still been, going live and trying to, ask my chat room for donations, to which they've responded generously. But we could still use more to help her out. We just received some today and yesterday and the day before that. Then we received some previously 2 weeks ago. So, we're just asking folks if they can help out a little bit more now. And oops, I sent this to the wrong person. No wonder she didn't respond. I sent it to the wrong person. My bad. I don't know if she's coming back. No, she said she was in the hospital, going back to the hospital. I don't know where she actually currently is, but I don't see she's on the screen anymore. It's on my screen, like her image is still frozen, but looking at what you guys can see, I see that I'm the only one currently on the screen, I believe. So let's if she doesn't return within, what's it like, 11:24 now? No, 11:14. Sorry. So if she doesn't return within 5 minutes, we'll just end this. So I don't want to, I don't want to stretch this out if she can't return, which is the point was to have her on, right? So, but at least she did come on. But I also did say I was going to bring her back as well once she did receive you you guys generous donations, so that she can let you know that she was able to use it for whatever it could do to help her out. So I believe in verification. So once she has received the money, I'm gonna have her back on again, just to let everyone know that she did receive her funds and that she was able to put put it to use, to good use. So I hope that sounds good to everyone. I don't know if any of my moderators are here. If any of my moderators are here, or you come in later to watch it, shout out to Agatha. Shout out to Moonlit Fern. Um, I don't know if my other I don't know if my other moderator's still here. I haven't seen her in a while, but that's because I think she is currently busy in her in her new relationship. So shout out to her. She's in Australia. Um, hey, she found herself a man, and I guess sometimes age doesn't matter. You can find, if you're not picky, that is, if you're not picky, you can still find yourself a good man or a good woman, even in your in your middle years, or for women, excuse me, or for men in their elder years. You just gotta be less picky. You gotta be more. And when I say less picky, I'm not saying you lower your standards. Less picky just means that you're realistic. Being realistic and being realistic and dropping your standards are two, lowering your standards are two different things. And I hope people realize that. 'Cause some women were like, some women were like drop dead gorgeous when they were 19 and 20, and now they're like 45, and they still think they got the same dating options they had when they were at the height of their beauty around 18, 19. It's like, no, you don't. It's like, no, you're still pretty, but now you're just gonna have to be realistic. You can't be shooting for like the elite men. You have to work with men who you know, maybe more average, but that's okay because you're average yourself, which they don't understand. Like it's like at 45, you're no longer like Jessica Rabbit, right? But anyway, that's an aside. Um, think Micah can come back. She just responded to me, so we'll see if she's comes back on the screen, guys. Because like I said, it's funny. I still see a frozen image of her on my end, but on your end, you just see my lovely face. I was trying to tell her not to put it too close up to her screen because with the reflection in her glasses and the image that she was when she was using the green screen image, it just looked a little jarring when the face is up the yay close to the screen, like like this close, and then you're using the green screen. It's not um it's not the best. Oh, she said her phone is acting up. Obviously so, because she couldn't even when she was on, she couldn't hear me on her audio. Although, I mean, that happened with my wife too, and I know because it's my place, we have good internet. So it wasn't the, even like I said, that's what I was saying. Even with good high speed internet in the Philippines, it's their infrastructure is still nowhere near what we have here. They still are probably, I would say they're probably still 10 years behind us when it comes to internet, and in some places maybe worse. I mean, it happens. Um, but I think she did say she was going to return. In the meantime, I'm just going to talk to you guys in the chat room. Well, when there was people in the chat room, I see people bouncing in and out. Pause. But yeah, on that note, guys. So again, want to thank my moderators and the people who've donated to me here on YouTube and on my Cash App. And I want to ask people just to continue being generous if they can, so we can help her out. Like I said, I don't think people understand poverty in another country unless they've been there. Like poverty in the United States is nowhere near poverty in another country. If you want to understand third world nation poverty and you never left the United States, go to a reservation and that's where you will see that sort of level of poverty where you can go to like one of the Lakota reservations in like North Dakota or South Dakota, and they still don't even have like things like running water or electricity in some facilities there. And this is in the United States, or in some parts of Alaska are very remote, right, where the Inuit and Alaska natives live. No, they're not all Eskimos. Eskimos actually, like for a long time, Eskimo was like a bad word to call the Inuit. But then you found out that the reason why the Inuit don't like being called Eskimos because the Eskimos are actually a different Alaskan native tribe. So you can just call them all like collectively Alaskan natives if you like. But there's the Inuit and then there's other Alaskan native groups. If anyone remotely cared about that, right? Um, but yeah, if you want to see like third world poverty in the United States, the only place you will see that level of just utter squalor and abandonment would be like on a Native American reservation. Like I said, like places like the reservations like in Oklahoma or in like South Dakota or way out southwest like New Mexico and Arizona. Where you have the Navajo reservation, which is the largest indigenous Native American reservation in the country because it it straddles four states. You know, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. It's, it's it's between those four states, and then right near the Navajo reservation are several other Southwest Indian reservations. You have the Hopis right next to them, and their other than their cultural like some cultural differences, they're so similar you probably wouldn't know them apart. The Hopi and the Navajo. Then you have the Pueblo Indians, the Kiowa. Um, there's the Kiowa reservation, the Uti, the Paiute. So if you like I said, so if you go to the Southwest, you'll see third world type poverty, or if you go to the Lakota reservations in North or South Dakota, you'll see third world poverty. But outside of that, you don't know poverty like you've seen in the Philippines. Like it is bad. It is really bad. It is heartbreaking sometimes. Unfortunately, though, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, um, foreigners are not are. It is illegal for foreigners to give to panhandlers. I mean, a lot of us still do. Now, for my own, I've never given money to panhandlers, but what I have done is given them food, or I've even bought them food. So that I don't, because I don't think that it is illegal giving people money. I mean, giving people food, but it is illegal to give panhandlers money in the Philippines for foreigners to do so. And I think the reason that is I think the reason for that is not necessarily for the because the government is cruel. That's not the intention. Is I think they don't want people to be able to abuse that situation where they're basically giving money for different sorts of solicitation, right? And I think that's the real worry is that foreigners would be handing street people money, quid pro quo. So that's why if you're in the Philippines, you can't give money. Hey, Agatha. Um, um, oh yeah. So I was just saying, Agatha. I was I had uh, Micah come back on. So when we got the last amount of money, unfortunately YouTube took its cut, so it's like 20 cents still left to go, which is just crazy. And I think I had someone send me a super thanks earlier today, but I'm not sure because it won't clear until tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get the funds, but I forgot that YouTube takes such a huge chunk of any sort of super that I receive. So we were still under even after the other day, right? So it was like 99 cents. I mean, sorry, it was like $99.72 or something like that. I'm like, really? It should have been well over 100 after 2 days ago. But YouTube takes a huge chunk. I know. She said, "Oh wow, yeah." YouTube got to get his money too. I was about to use that quote from Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. He was like, "Papa, Pizza Papa, something got to get his cut or something like that." But whatever, yeah. But yeah, YouTube, YouTube. When you become a partner, you're the junior partner. They're the senior partner. Like on Scarface, he said, "Hey man, I'm your partner, man. Junior partner. Hey, you man." He said, "Who put this together, huh? Me. That's who run this thing. Me. That's who. That's YouTube. That's YouTube is Tony Montana. The YouTube partners, we're all just we're Manny. We're Manny. They're Tony. Fuck you, Tony. Hey, wait, hey, man. Fuck you, man. Who put this together? Huh? Me. That's who. That's YouTube when they taking that cut from the YouTube partners. That's that, that's how they act. She says Micah home where she was home when we first video chatted and she said, "Can we go live?" I said, "All right." Then when we went live, it looks like she's already at the hospital. I'm not sure, but she is so the daughter is still on treatment. And it looks like some sort of neurological thing going on with her. That's why she's needing treatment. Um, she basically needs it for her medication. So, because when she was first on and the the feed froze on her end, it was just a picture of her. Her daughter had like tubes up her nose, and I'm like, man. So I felt pretty bad. So, but yeah, hopefully this will help her. Like I said, it looks like we still need a few more dollars because YouTube takes such a huge cut of anything I receive. This is why a lot of content creators prefer Cash App over YouTube because they know they'll get their money instantly through Cash App than through YouTube. So I get that. I mean, but Cash App still takes their cut too, but it's nowhere as much as YouTube takes. YouTube takes a larger chunk of money than Cash App does. Was she on earlier? Yeah, she was just on like literally just 10 minutes ago. But she said she was coming back on, but her phone is acting up. So I don't know how long that's gonna take her. I'll wait it out a few more minutes, and then if she doesn't join, then I'm just gonna finish doing what I was doing before we chatted. So, but other than that, everything was going well. Oh, I forgot to say, Agatha, and to the well, no one's in the chat room but you and me. But I got my merch together. Wait till you see it. Um, YouTube has to do like a 3 day review, so it's one. So I got like 2 more days before it'll show up on my channel. But I got my merch. I got all Just A Contrarian merch for people if they want to buy it. It'll be T-shirts, okay, um, T-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, coffee mugs. You know I'm gonna buy all of these for myself too, right? But yeah, so I now have. Uh, Congratulate me when you finally see it on the channel because I still gotta go through the summary review. I know it's just a it's just a cursory thing at this point because I know like it's they just want to make sure it's no mature content. So definitely no mature content on my end. Like it's just the logo. So you know the logo I have for the channel. That's gonna be the design. Leggings? No, it didn't. Uh, they didn't offer that, but they do have it in female sizes though. So it's both male and female sizes, and it's t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, sweatshirts, hats, coffee mugs, kid size t-shirts, kid size hoodies, a kid size long sleeve shirt, and um and stickers and also stickers. So I mean, so for right now, it's just the logo, and if I see them selling, then I'm gonna introduce some more designs as well. So I just wanted to start off with the logo. But do you think I should have added some other things as well? Because I was like, I didn't know if it was worth introducing a bunch of different designs into like I know that people were actually willing to buy the stuff in the store. But no, I'll let I'll check. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there might be leggings. It's so the store the company I'm going through is called T Public. Um, I can't since it's a vertical live stream. I can't drop the link from here, but it will. But the store should show up in 2 days on my channel. Oh, you said no. I shouldn't introduce other designs. Just this one for right now. You think? Let me go to the shop. Take you to the candy shop. So I'm going using my computer to go to my view. So you can check it out. It's already up on T Public. It's just not attached to YouTube yet because they still have to verify, go through their review to verify it. But it's but my name. So the name of the website is tpublic.com. That's TEE like a T-shirt. TEEPUP. Excuse me. PUBLIC.com. Tpublic.com. And um, my shop on T Public is just a contrarian, like the same as on here, and it'll look basically like my Facebook business page for this channel, and just to give people a heads up about it. So the T-shirt. So I made the default color of the T-shirt navy blue just because I thought it went with the design a little bit better than white. I thought white, like the so that's just the default color, but you can choose from like 25 different colors of what you want the t-shirt to be. But the default color is navy blue, just because I thought it meshed well with the design. Um, And so you have the Just a Contrarian T-shirt, and for right now, it's only $16 if anyone wants to try that out. But it also has a hoodie, tank top, a hat, sticker, a mug. Okay. Let me see. And again, it comes also in a crew neck sweatshirt, a long sleeve T-shirt. Oh, a baseball T-shirt. Oh, a phone case. It comes in a phone. I forgot it comes in a phone case. You can get a tote bag. You can get a pin. That's probably old school. Do people still wear pins on their shirts? Unless you work at like uh unless you work at one of those sports bars where they still have all of the little pins on their shirts. Oh, and a magnet. So lots of stuff, guys. Lots of stuff. You can also get a pillow, wall art. So all so these all cost different things. So the hoodie is starting at 32. The tank top is 15. The hat is 14. The sticker is 250. The mug is $14, guys, not euros, not pesos. Dollars. Dollar bill, y'all. Seriously. Um, the crew neck sweatshirt is 28. The long sleeve t-shirt is 17. Um, these are really cool. Like, guys, I hate to toot my own horn, but this design is really cool. And Mrs. Contrarian, my wife, actually helped. Like, I made the design myself because this is actually a design I made like I want to say like 19, about 20, 19 years ago when I was first doing a blog. I used to have a blog like everyone else did in the early 2000s. So I had a blog in the well in the late 2000s rather. I had a blog and I had made this design. Okay. So anyway, the baseball T-shirt is $19. These are actually kind of affordable. The hat is 14. The sticker's 250. The phone case is 20. I might have to get that phone case. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool. The tote bag is 14. The pen is 225. The magnet is 350. The the wall art is $7. So if you want to put a big thing on your wall that says "Just a Contrarian," like that would be dope. But yeah, that's only $7, and the pillow is $20. I might have to get the pillow. I might have to get that. I might have to get that pillow. I'm not gonna lie. This stuff, and I'm like again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this stuff looks kind. The design is actually kind of cool, guys. I'm telling you, it's pretty cool. But I can't wait for it to be up on the channel so you guys can actually see it for yourself. I mean, right now you can go see it for yourself if you want to go to the link at www.tpublic.com. That's TEEPUBLIC.com. PIMP, ology, biology. Why these tricks be studying psychology? Obviously. Well, sorry, had a moment. Thought we were all rhyming for a second. But yeah, yeah, I like this phone case, guys. The phone case is kind of this phone case is kind of funky in a good way, not funky like bad, like funky like they used to say in the 80s. Like that joint is funky. You know what I'm saying? But I'm old school. Yeah, that phone case is kind of cool. Not gonna lie, and you can get it for every device too. I'm looking at it. It's not so. It's for all like I see it for all the different iPhones. I need to see if it's for like my Samsung stuff too. Oh, okay, so yeah, they got it for Galaxy as well, Samsung Galaxy. So not not so us us droid people won't be left behind. So they got it for Samsung, the 24, the 23, the 22, the 21, and the 20, the S24, the S series that is. She said, "Cool." We say that joint's funky. So, but yeah, you from New York, Agatha. But yeah, this is it's pretty cool. Like I said, so they got an iPhone, and for Samsung, the S series phones, which are by far the more popular. But I've I've seen the J series in the Philippines. It's funny when you go to East Asia, you see a lot of the stuff that that are available in the U.S. but don't get marketed here. Like we have stuff for us that's marketed more heavily, which is usually the more pricier stuff. But the stuff that's less pricey is usually not marketed to us, so they can get the most out of us. But the less pricey stuff, usually you'll see marketed over in East Asia. But sometimes the less pricey stuff is just as good quality. Like you're not always paying for quality. Like you're paying for quality to a certain point, and then it reaches that asymptote, which is just a fancy way of saying it flat that it it comes to a peak where it plateaus, where it's no longer the price is make more quality. You just basic at some point you reach a point of diminishing returns where the price you're paying is not for the quality of the product, but for the amount of marketing that goes into that product. Nowhere is there more evident than when it comes to like cosmetics. Like you're often just paying for like expensive marketing, not for quality of the products themselves. I don't think she's returning, guys. It is 11:40. I'm gonna give it about 5 more minutes. I'm gonna message her again, and if not, c'est la vie. I'm gonna go take a late night run to get this chicken tacos and um pancit off me. I had a random dinner where I ate some pancit noodles with some chicken tacos and need to run, work that out. And it's really nice out right now. It's dropped into it's in the lower 70s, so it's the perfect time for a late night run. Perfect, perfect. But I don't think she's gonna make it. And speaking of food, shout out to I know a lot of you hate Trump, but shout out to him that with Maha make America healthy again. Um, he and Kennedy have been making some serious strides to make our food healthier. Like they got rid of the artificial sweeteners in Coca Cola, so now they'll be using pure cane sugar. They got rid of a lot of the artificial coloring in our foods and cereals, often given to our kids, which is just straight poison. And I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but just know that overseas they don't allow all these artificial colorings and sweeteners in their food. Like if you look at the ingredients on the back of a food item, like one that you bought here and then you buy it overseas and you look at the ingredients, it will be different because over in a lot of these countries overseas, they do not allow the amount of chemical additives that they do here. And a lot of these chemical additives are basically developed by food scientists just to make the food more addictive or more aesthetic. It has nothing to do with the nutritional content nor the taste. It's just usually just made to make the food either more addictive or more aesthetic looking. And it's nothing to the quality of the food itself. But shout out to the food scientists. Most of them are good people, but there are some that are hired by these companies just for the purposes of making their food more addictive, either by making it literally more addictive chemically or just making it more look more viable, like more aesthetic. Agnes says, I always wonder why we let companies put these different dyes in our food because no one was stopping them. Literally, that's literally why we, you know, they, they have these interest groups and lobbyists that come to Congress and basically pay them off to allow them to do anything they want, which is why the FDA is not a good place to go to when it comes to the safe food and safety of our food. This has changed under, like I said, under the Trump administration, where they've been doing stuff. Maybe not enough, but they've certainly done more than the last previous administrations. Like I said, if you look at stuff, or Japan is another good example. So like Japan has really good candy that we even like here. Like I think the most well-known candy from Japan is like high chews. The high chews are tasty little gummy candies, but have they have a fraction of the sugar that we put in American candy. The confections made in America way more have insane amounts of sugar in them compared to places like Japan where they use a fraction of the sugar amount, and it's still and you would still not think that high chew is less tasty than like Starburst or Skittles, right? So which is all good. But again, hopefully that I've reached en- enough money for my payout. Hopefully, because like I said, even if my friend sent some money today, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to clear the YouTube hurdle because they take such a huge chunk. I can see, yeah, that's a good thing he is doing. Yeah, I mean, even if you dislike him, any president, no matter how unlikable, has always done at least one or two good things. Case in point, Andrew Johnson. I think he's probably the worst U.S. president ever, but even he's done some things which you might be like, okay. But I'm gonna give it a few more seconds. If she doesn't return, then we're just gonna call this a day because it's about an hour in already. Um, yeah, Andrew Johnson is usually considered one of the worst presidents, if not the worst president. And I know people who dislike Trump say he's the worst, but he's not the worst. Like any guy, any president who's sold, not only owned but sold slaves, or committed, or have committed Indian genocide, to me is going to be worse than Trump on any given day. So any historian saying that Trump is the worst president, I just can't take them seriously, not remotely. So um, let's see what time we got. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. She said maybe she could try back another time. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I want her to come back anyway once the money clears, so everyone can see that she actually got the donations that you guys sent her. But after that, I think I'm gonna take a break from using the channel to ask for donations because it's asking a lot of a very small retinue of people. Like, if I had the numbers of some of the larger, like, podcasters and live streamers, then it wouldn't be too much to ask. But when I'm literally asking like the same like 5, 10, 15, 20 people, it can come off as needy, even if it's not for me. Just, that constant asking of that, I know it can be grating for some folks. Um, if people do want to contribute though, I welcome it because I can always use it to grow my channel. Um, with memberships, for instance, like the more memberships I get, I currently only have one membership, but the more members I get for the channel, the more I'll put in the membership paywall for people to enjoy. I can put some more uncut stuff where I can kind of use the kind of language that I used to use 2 years ago that I try not to use anymore. Now that I'm, you know, now that I'm a YouTube partner, I can't say certain things that I would be wouldn't care so much if I did 2 years ago. Um, and also like just raw footage of me like doing training and stuff like that. So and I already have some of that. Like I said, if people want to see me, like there's like behind the membership paywall, I have things like me doing uh, a huge like push-ups until I like completely burn out, or I show people do a how to do a martial arts workout within the confined space of their bedroom. Um, oh, I show people like a army stretching routine, stuff like that. And like last year, before I before I had let everyone know. Excuse me, hold on a second. But okay, my voice is back. And then like before I had let everyone know that my wife did a trip across Indochina, which was the whole Indochina region. It was like Thailand, Burma. Burma was the big one because Burma being constantly in civil war and constant civil unrest right now, we thought it would be dangerous for her to go. But then I told her, no, go ahead and go. When she told me there's a large amount of Filipino tourists that go there, I was like, if a bunch of Filipino tourists are going there, then that means it's safe for them, even if it may not be as safe for Western folks. But no, there are specific regions of Burma that's still safe for foreigners to travel. So I told her to go so that because I wanted her to get her full Indochina trip because that has been like a dream vacation for her for I don't know how many years, probably 10, 15 years, and she finally got to go. She was supposed to go back in 2020, and that's when the pandemic hit, right? So now, 4 years later, she got to go last year, and before I had hinted to people that the wife was on vacation. I didn't say where. So in my membership paywall, I let people see where she was at the time while she was still there. Um, Not too much. I didn't give away too much, just in case somebody wanted to do something nefarious. But it was places she was at where she had like just left those places, and I had put that on the paywall, so I don't think very many people saw it. And then afterwards, I put it where everyone could see it. Pause. But okay, it's an hour in. I am. I'm gonna safely assume that she's not gonna make it. So no, no, I don't. There's no need to keep dragging it out because I think she's going. She said she had to be on her way to the hospital anyway, so she's probably gonna be doing that, and we'll just have to touch base with her later. Um, Hopefully, I got enough to clear um, that payout hurdle for YouTube, which for us minor YouTubers is a hard is a bigger hurdle to pass than like the bigger YouTubers. So, anywho, that's it for me, Agatha. I don't know who else is here with us in the chat room, but I'm gonna end this here. Thank you though, and shout out to Micah. She'll be back, guys. She'll be back. I'm gonna let you guys see her after she's gotten her donations. Okay, but appreciate it. Thanks, Agatha. Um, Take care, everyone. Have a good night.